Hello everyone, this is Bowser Galaxy 10. Welcome to our rambling
review
for RWBY Volume 8.
Oh boy.
What a way to spend my New Year's.
Yep.
Final
thoughts on the volume? As a whole? Thoughts on the volume as a whole before we get into specifics?
Before I finish rewatching the series, because I started rewatching it since we watched this. Well, it's shortly before. Tentatively, this might be my favorite volume, but I'm gonna hold off on saying that for sure until I rewatch the rest of them. But wow.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Crap. This one is intense.
So let's just mention the big message of this one. You're fucked.
All Things Must Die, Part 2. Oh man. Like, if nothing else, you could definitely say this is
the highest death count of any of the highest main character death count of any volume, including Free.
I think it's like by a factor of 2 almost. Like it's almost double the death count of 3. I think.
No, I don't think it's double it.
I think it's almost.
No,
I think it's like
not
6 to 4.
Volume 3 was 5 of them technically, and this one was 6.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, lots of people are dead. Fun, happy time.
An entire kingdom is gone.
And all the characters in the show are like, what do you mean the death count's 6? Isn't it 11?
Pretty much.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
So shall we start going through the characters?
Yeah, characters first.
I got my massive list of characters.
Yeah, let's go.
So, first of all, Ruby Rose. She was like kind of dead inside for like half the volume.
Yeah, where she's like friendships are dying. No one's friends anymore.
Like that. Like honestly, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It's like my one thing that was starting to grow, like starting to bother me about RWBY is that she just
was way too optimistic.
Yeah, she seems unbreakable for so long.
Nope.
And finally, she just broke in this volume, and I was like, oh, okay.
On multiple occasions.
Yeah, and that's why she's still my favorite character.
Yep.
It was getting a little tentative, but now it's solid again. She was my favorite character again. Oh my goodness! Like she didn't actually do that much in this volume, but I was kind of fine with that. It was kind of honestly a lot of Team RWBY was like
kind of here.
A little bit more in the background this volume.
Yeah, it was actually more like the others.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Which is honestly one of the things.
But we still had really good moments of every single one of them.
Yeah. And honestly, I really
especially RWBY's reaction with the Grimhound.
Yeah.
Like good God.
Yeah, that.
I've never seen the broken RWBY before.
Honestly, I also really appreciated that because I feel like that was the first time I really saw her.
That hasn't been a broken RWBY face until Free. That hasn't been a broken RWBY face since Volume 3 when she saw Pyrrha die.
Yeah. Oh man. And I got to see her do a couple of cool fights.
Look, I don't care about spoiler warning. Yeah. You guys know.
Yeah.
We talk about the whole thing.
RWBY was cool and awesome and stuff.
Who's next?
Miss Rice Chi.
I loved her and getting more with the Schnee family as a whole as well.
Yeah, that was really it was really cool to see that. To see.
Also, we had a bit more back to Volume 1 for Free Weiss with the comedy against her.
Yeah. Honestly, in this volume, she was kind of the I have money, I'm going to support the team with my money kind of character, which is kind of cool to see again.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's had a little bit of that in the earlier volumes. It was kind of cool to bring it back and have that be like the main role she played on the team.
I mean, we're literally right next to a bank. Might as well.
Yeah. We don't have to deal with her card getting declined anymore.
Yep. Yeah, because screw her dad. Stuck in a prison cell the whole volume.
Should we just talk about him right now? Because we brought it up.
He existed, he was an asshole, he died.
Pretty much. Good job, everyone. You did one thing right.
Yep.
Alright.
Let's not get into that bag of worms yet, though.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Yang Xiaolong.
She helped with the RWBY development more than anything, but I did also really like the motorcycle chase sequence.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of my, like, it took us this long to have real, like, it hasn't been since, like, Volume 2 that we had Yang motorcycle fun.
Yeah. I'm part of that because she lost a motorcycle eventually, but...
Yeah.
Well, where she would actually use the motorcycle in an action scene was probably Volume 2.
Also, she was a good thing around the declining thing of the remaining universe stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, like her... Who else was with her?
Ren and Jean.
Oh, Jean was there.
Ren and Jean, mostly.
Yeah, when she was like with Ren and Jean, like when it was just the three of them, Ren and Jean, like that whole, it was, like that whole sequence is kind of, it was cool to see the interactions between her and Ren, and them kind of having to deal with some of this stuff that they're just piling up. That's like a big. That's kind of like a theme. That's kind of like a theme of the characters early on. Is just how all the different characters are dealing with the fact that they just keep losing.
Yeah.
And it's like Ren is like starting to like give up. RWBY is starting to give up. Yang is like trying to
keep everything alive.
She's trying to keep everything keep that things together.
She's pretty much trying to be RWBY.
Yeah, and honestly. And like part of her arc here, part of her like brief little arc here is like realizing I can't just carry all of this. I need to like I need to like accept the fact that this is like I can be a human being and actually be like, this sucks. Which is cool, especially because like I feel like that's something that. Like, it kind of, like, calls back to, like, she's honestly been doing this, like, the whole time.
Yep.
Like, since Volume 1. So it's kind of cool to finally see her be like...
Yeah, see her crack, and see her under the walls that she puts around herself.
Yeah. But, I also just want to mention that the pure shock, like, the pure shock value... And towards the end,
when
they
in.
have her fall into the pit, I legitimately
I was like, wait a second.
Like 5 minutes.
I was like,
OMG, they just killed Yang.
It could have been something. Like, I was thinking that too. I was like, okay, how the hell are they getting her back? Are they going to get her back? Monty, what the hell? And then I'm like, okay, never mind. And then they all started dropping in, and I'm like, okay, they're fine.
As soon as RWBY fell in, I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, once there was like more than two in there, I'm like, okay.
Okay. It was like if it was just Yang, yeah. If it was Yang and Blake, maybe.
It was
Yang
Neo
and
first.
RWBY. I have serious doubts, but it was Yang, and then Blake and RWBY fell in at the same time. Like, oh
No, that's
no way.
Neo and Ruby.
Well, no, it was actually it was Neo, RWBY, and Blake all at once.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, it was
Like, it was
Neo
like
and
a bit
RWBY
later.
fell. Blake tried to catch RWBY and fell with her.
Yeah. Yeah, once that happened, I was like, yeah, no, they aren't.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, no, they're fine.
Yeah, but that
But
that one moment where it's like, oh god.
yeah, that was a moment.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Blake.
Yep, she was next on the list, of course.
I like how we kind of went in
She
a
was
clockwise order.
Counterclockwise, actually. Oh no, that's clockwise. What am I talking about? Clockwise, but starting at 6.
Yep. Upside down clock.
Honestly, out of all of them, I feel like Blake was the most just there.
Yeah.
Like, not there was any, like, there wasn't, like, any, like, especially big moments for her. Which I guess is fine. She's had some pretty big moments.
She had pretty much big moments the
seasons.
entirety of the previous volumes.
Yeah.
Like, especially 4 and 5.
She's been, like, stealing the show a lot.
Yeah, especially in 4 and 5.
So it kind of makes sense for her to have a backseat on this one. Although she did have, like...
Yes.
I guess in the final fight, she was pretty involved in stuff. She's like, "Oh no, Yang is gone!" And then she tried to save her. And there was some cool moments of her like trying to figure out like who she's gonna fight. Is she gonna try to get revenge or on Neo, or is she actually going to fight who needs to be fought?
Who's next?
But yeah, Blake is cool as always. Always love Blake. Next is Ren.
Good God! I don't think we can really put Ren by himself, honestly, in this volume.
They're both Ren and Nora.
Why do they do this to me?
Honestly, I feel like this was both Ren and Nora's best showing in all of RWBY. Like, oh my gosh!
Yeah, this was the best showing of them since Volume 4.
Like
this was amazing and had me horrified at every second where it's like, oh god, one of them's gonna die!
Nope.
Miraculously, none of them did! Yet. I don't believe this damn series for a second.
We'll get to the whole thing about Nora being in mortal danger in a little bit.
Good God, Ren.
Yeah.
Oof.
Ren, like he starts out with like the whole bunch of tension between him and Nora, and then Nora almost dies.
And then Ren goes dark.
Yeah, like, oh man, Ren just...
It also doesn't help that he had to keep channeling aura and everything, so that probably put a lot of strain on him as well.
Yeah. I will say, it was his development for his semblance, I really appreciate them.
It's like Ren gets a new power for his semblance every 2 volumes, it feels like.
Yeah, but I feel like I really enjoyed his in particular because I kind of felt like the only reason his semblance before didn't feel extremely underwhelming is because it specifically was good against Grimm. Like it was a very strong counter against Grimm in particular. Other than that, it's kind of useless.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And now they just kind of put the other characters thing on him.
Yeah.
Where they kind of put the true thing on him. Halfway put that on Ren.
Yeah, where you can see how people are actually feeling, which was really cool, and it made it. I think it made it a lot more believable with what happened with Emerald.
Yeah,
which we'll talk about when we get to
it. But yeah, it really does work because it shows that everyone's freaking horrified of all that's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, Ren slowly over time has become one of my favorite characters in this.
Thank you for finally joining.
I've always liked Ren quite a bit, but I feel like I'm finally to the point where I'm like, this isn't just me being like personal opinion. His like personally, I think his fighting style is cool and he's kind of fun sometimes, and he has a cool dynamic with Nora. Like I'm like actually now like this character is really cool.
And then we get Nora, who's the most depressed she's ever been shown as.
Yeah, and like
the most hurt she's ever been. Where it's like. Also, I didn't realize the overload thing could happen.
Yeah, it makes
I suspect it wasn't out of nowhere. I just didn't realize it, and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, there is a problem here."
Yeah, the thing is, she's just never come close to overloading it before.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it was a little surprising, but.
Yeah, afterward though, it's like, oh my god!
Yeah. So yeah.
Should we also mention the fact that Nora did like a lot of good like figuring stuff out this volume before she went down?
Yeah.
Like
Nora is smart, people! She's
not just smart. Hammer pancakes!
Yeah. Like that's like honestly Nora, I feel it also falls into the boat of a little bit like Yang, where it's like I kind of feel like she has like her being a goofball has been kind of her like kind of hiding
wall.
Yeah, as a kind of wall for how.
That's how it's always been. Yeah. Like, we knew that since Volume 4 when we saw their past, Ren and Nora's past.
Yeah, and even as early as if you listen to Boop, her theme in Volume 2 soundtrack, there's even that, at least as far as how she feels in a relationship with Ren, that's already a thing there.
Yep.
That's literally what the song is about.
Yep.
Yeah, Nora, also another character.
Oh yeah, also should I mention Ren giving Nora a boob what made me super happy? I was like, oh my god, I love this show! I love these two so much!
They're the best ship in the whole series.
Yes. 100%.
Don't even try to...
Don't even try me with that RWBY Weiss.
I friendship it. I don't ship it.
Yeah.
They're adorable friends. But yeah.
So Nora just makes me happy though.
So shall we round out the remainder of Juniper?
Jean. Oof. He was the most level-headed of them all here, and even then you could see him cracking.
Yeah, honestly, like, it is actually really cool with Sean, because, like, it really does feel like he had, like, the arc that most of the characters go through in here. Well, the arc that most of the characters go through here, it's legitimately, it's like he's already gone through this, so it makes sense that he's the one who's, like... He's the one who was, like, supporting everybody else through it, because he already, like, has dealt with
a big loss and everything.
Yeah, so he's... I mean, sure, all the other characters dealt with that loss too, but not nearly to the degree that he did. Yeah. So he's like the most...
Yeah, what they've done with Jean since Volume 4 has made me love him.
Yeah, and even
so much.
Even going back and watching early Jean, like it's so cool to see the beginnings of the arc that he's gone through. Like it's like
Pierre really freaking mentioned his damn aura in Volume 1 during the freaking.
It's amazing how much I didn't appreciate what they were doing with him. In the first couple of volumes. Like, I didn't even really like him that much until, like, Volume 4.
Yeah, you just thought of him as Vomit Boy.
Honestly, yeah. But that's the other thing. As level-headed and cool as he is, He's still Vomit Boy.
And that's why I love him.
Boy,
He's the guy trying to prove himself this whole time.
Yeah, he's the guy
As
who
Ren
does his best.
pulled the knife into.
Yeah, Sean does his best, and we love him for it. He's always doing his best.
Yeah. So what's next?
Wait, but we had. I just also want to mention when he had to do the thing. Oh man, I've watched that like 3 or 4 times now, and every single time my heart just.
You can say it out loud.
Every time he kills Penny, I'm just my heart. Just, I don't know the name of the voice actor, but props to him. Oh my goodness, that is heart-wrenching.
Yep. Indeed.
Oh man. And then he fell in the pit.
Yep. Where it's like, okay. See you next volume.
See you next volume. You're part of Team RWBY now.
And Neo.
Ruben J. Team Ruben J. Drubin. Team Drubin.
Yeah. Who's next?
Oscar.
Best volume for Oscar this whole time. Like, good God, he was... Like, him and Ozpin 100% nailed this time.
Yeah.
This volume, they were 100% nailed.
Honestly, like, I think out of all the characters, I'd say there are like two major MVP characters, and he is one of them.
Yes.
Like, oh my goodness. It's like, in terms of the character, I already have had like so much respect for Oscar as a character, and it's just it's like doubles in this volume. Just like he's like what is he, like 15? And he's like getting tortured by like the most powerful main villain that everyone's terrified of for like presumably like days on end.
I think it's more like a full like 2 days. I think it was.
And like not only does he not break, but he like manages to like turn.
Yeah.
Manages to turn Hazel.
Let's be honest. The whole reason that they even got this close to winning was because of Oscar.
Yeah, freaking Oscar. Just like Oscar and John are just like the most, like they're just like the normal dudes who just manage to just by just being like just through sheer bravery and determination and managing to be some of the biggest players.
Definitely.
They're so cool. They're such cool characters, and I love them so much.
Kind of made me have to kind of loved how they kept us for about 20 minutes before telling us what the hell happened with the cane part. Where it's like, thanks for making us wait like like a full like episode length to figure out what the hell happened.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? About the cane explosion thing. On the one hand, yeah, it's really cool, and it totally makes sense that
Ozpin's been holding all this energy for a big
it makes sense. It makes sense. I don't have a problem with it at all. It was very cool. But they need to make sure they don't keep doing it. They don't do stuff like that too.
They've always mentioned like they only have enough for like half, like a fourth of the thing that they did already. Like they did mention, that used up pretty much all the power.
But I mean, stuff along those lines where they're like, here we have this trump card that we didn't tell you about before.
Yeah, we already got 2 trump cards. We got Ruby's Eyes and now Big Atom Bomb.
Yeah. Which, I mean, the Silver Eyes thing, they foreshadowed that from episode 1. So, I don't know.
Pilot.
That one doesn't really count. That one doesn't really count. They foreshadowed that from episode 1.
Yeah, but it's like you can't just have two things that are like the I win button against them.
So as long as they're careful with that, I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
And it was very cool.
Uh-huh.
So,
who's next?
Well, who in my opinion was the other MVP.
Oh my god. Don't do this to me.
Yeah, that's right. It's Miss Penny Polendita.
Well, here comes the rest of the review.
Oh, don't worry. We're only like halfway through the character list.
Here comes the rest of the review.
Oh.
Good God.
Oh, man.
Good God. Are you sure we're prepared for this? Are you sure you don't want to go through other characters first? Some of the easy ones first?
Maybe we should.
Okay, let's go through some easy ones and just keep this for later.
Okay, we'll just skip over her and do it towards the end, maybe. So, Winter.
Amazing.
Okay, yeah, it's super cool to see her, like, secretly, like, playing along with Ironwood while also undermining him.
Yeah.
She does it so cleverly, and it's super cool. And she's just taking advantage of the fact that he trusts her so implicitly.
Yeah.
Which at the same time is also really sad.
And I like how they did the thing where it's like you thought Winter was gonna be the Winter Maiden, but it's Penny. Psych.
It's Penny. 1 volume later, it's actually Winter!
It actually is Winter. Honestly, she's a good option for it. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah, Winter is...
She was great in this volume.
Yeah.
Like, we already saw how much what her character was back in volume 3 and such. And this was just a big thing where we finally got more of her.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see, like, there's almost like a dynamic between Weiss and Winter that's really cool to see, where, like, Winter, like, they both are, like, bringing out the best in each other, which is been really cool to see how their arcs kind of play off each other like that.
Do you think we should go through the rest of the Shnees after this, too?
Sure. Yeah, she, like, it's really cool they, like, play off each other, like, Winter is helping Weiss to, like, be the best fighter that she can be, and, like,
Weiss
bring out her abilities
bringing the best person that Winter can be.
Yeah, and then Winter is becoming less of a machine and actually caring about people and doing the right thing.
Which we definitely see by the end.
Yeah. To the point that she undermines her boss. And he goes crazy. Speaking of which, next on the list...
we're going through the Shnees, remember?
Right. Okay, yeah, Shnees, and then we go to...
the other person who's going to be the rest of the review.
So...
Whitley
is... I'm really happy to see that Whitley ended up being a good guy in the end. And
it felt like something that they were definitely pushing towards in Volume 7.
Yeah, it always
where it's
felt like
once Jacques went out of the fray, it showed that the Shnees are really good people. It's just that Jacques had such a hold over them.
Yeah. And, like... Whitley, like, and the stuff that Whitley actually does to help is just really, it's really cool him being like he's not a fighter at all, but he manages to like find stuff to do that's like really, really useful and helpful.
Yeah.
And he even has like a couple of action moments where he's like, he's in over his head and he still manages to pull through, and It's always cool to see stuff like that.
Yeah, Whitley was great.
And it's also just really fun to see it's really fun to see the dynamics between Weiss and Whitley now that they've kind of gone from being actually they actually properly hate each other and are pretty much enemies to now they're
family.
They're family, but they're still kind of a sibling rivalry thing under the surface. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun. The dynamic is really fun.
And then there's the Leshney.
What's her name again? Willow, that was it, yeah.
Her in the volume, she's horrified the whole time. Where you could just see her reaching for the comfort of the just to make herself drunk to get through it.
Yeah.
But she resists it. Yeah. And also, you see her freaking horrified by the Hound. Where it's like, oh my god, I thought one of the Shnees was gonna die, honestly.
Yeah, it's... And I
honestly thought Will was gonna die at first.
It's... Like, that... Honestly, I feel like that has some pretty intense implications for, I honestly suspect her relying on drinking to solve problems and stuff. That probably comes from
dealing with Jacques.
Yeah, oh man, it's...
Yeah, it was clear in Volume 7
family is so screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love how they show how screwed up the family is and how everybody's dealing with it in different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, where Whitley's just saying, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong.
And then he finally...
And Willow's like...
Yeah, and then Winter is just
completely left.
Yeah,
and Weiss is just stuck.
But you could kind of... It kind of feels like Winter kind of went into... Winter almost feels like she went into almost workaholic mode to get away from it. Mm-hmm. And that's why she's almost robotic.
Yeah, the Snee Mansion scene as a whole was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Cool. Oh boy.
General Ironwood.
So, General Ironwood is probably at this point my favorite antagonist in all of RWBY.
Yes.
Especially going back and seeing how all of his arc, you can already see the cracks starting to form in literally his first appearance.
Hell, not even technical first appearance. You could see it all the way back in Penny's appearance. Like Penny leaving and everything, where it's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
where it's like, he will do anything.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, he's developed this messiah complex, and he thinks he's sacrificing everything he needs to save everybody, but he doesn't
realize that he's hurting more doing so.
Yeah, and he doesn't realize it's I think he's actually lying, he's deceiving himself into thinking he's saving he's doing what's best for everyone, when honestly he's really just doing what he's just doing what ironically people are like, you don't have a heart. Honestly, I think he's doing exactly what his heart is telling him to do in a bad way.
Yeah. Where it's definitely one of those cases where he's doing a right thing, just horrendous means to get to the right way. Where it's like he's literally just destroying everything to do this one thing.
Yeah,
still don't understand why the hell he trusts Watts in the first damn place. Why do people keep freaking doing this?
I don't
know. What makes you... once Volume 8... Once he shoots the guy at the beginning of Volume 8, where it's like, oh, he's not coming back from this. He is not.
Yeah, and speaking of that scene, I may or may not have like had a little freak out hype moment when I realized that after, I think it was after he shot the dude. It might have been like a tiny bit after that when he does something else really Ironwood. I heard the melody of Hero, which is so cool. Like it's like you hear that and you're just like, oh no,
he's not coming back.
Oh no.
Like,
and honestly,
like Volume 7's ending with him shooting Oscar, I was like, okay, there's a chance he can come back from this. Like, once he shot the one dude, I was like, oh, he's not coming back.
Yeah, like, honestly, my feelings, like, what's super cool about Ironwood is, like, on the one hand, I feel so bad for the guy. Like, I feel for this guy so much. It's like from his perspective, like, everybody is betraying him. You can't, nobody trusts him. Everything's falling apart. Like, he's just trying to do his best to hold everything together, and it feels like everything's falling apart for him. And he feels so bad for the guy. And especially, I think one of those moments where you really feel bad for him is, like, when the team, like, tricks him into like thinking that Penny's gonna help him, and he's like, you did the right thing. Yeah. I'm like, oh no! Like, he actually believes this, and it's like, oh man, I feel so bad for him. But at the same time, I was probably more terrified about what Ironwood would do than any of the villains.
Than any of Salem's giant freaking whale.
I was more terrified of Ironwood than freaking Salem.
Yeah. Because at least Salem's like, okay, she's Evil Witch of Darkness. We know what she wants. Yeah. We didn't know, like, we knew what Ironwood wanted and such. Where it's like, oh.
Like, you don't, like, the thing with Ironwood is, like, it's like, at least with Salem, like, yeah, she's gonna do really bad stuff, and you have no idea what in the world you're gonna do about it. With Ironwood, you don't know what the heck he's gonna do. Yeah. I mean, all you know is he's gonna do something terrible, but you don't know what the heck it is.
Looking at Penny.
Oh, man, it's, Ironwood is just... Oh, man, I love Ironwood so much.
Yeah.
Like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm like, maybe he should be an A tier. He's an A minus on my tier list. Because he might be that good.
Yeah. He was amazing. Who's next?
Harriet and her crew.
Aesops, huh?
The Aesops. And we could probably talk about Crow and Robin a bunch as well.
Yeah, Crow and Robin didn't really do too much until the very end when most of their interactions came from the Aesops themselves.
Yeah, although Crow and Robin did have that short interaction where Crow was just gonna go... He was just gonna go bananas, and Robin was like, no, you're better than that, stop it. Which was cool.
And then they just meet Winter, and she's like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Ready. Everyone's ready then.
But yeah, the Aesops.
Jesus.
I mean...
Like, it literally shows, like how many people are just horrified of what's going on. And all of them have, like, their own their own way of showing it. Like, that's when Ren's semblance really caught me, like, actually really liking it. Where it was like, oh yeah. Yeah. Everyone's horrified and everyone has different emotions at this.
Yeah. Like, Ren's semblance now is such a good... Like, it was such a good storytelling tool here. Storytelling tool here. But anyway, yeah. Honestly, like, I think Harriet, like, the way Harriet acts in here is almost like, it's almost like the dark side of the power of friendship kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, she trusts Ironwood so implicitly that she's able to, like, I mean, part of it is because she's so broken up about Clover. She, like, she just, like, wants to lash out, and then Ironwood gives her some way to lash out. She doesn't even consider whether it's actually something that she should be doing.
Yep.
Until it's too late to stop, too late for her to do anything about it, and she ends up killing another one of her friends in the process.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how the Aesops continue from this point.
Yeah, I think what I'm kind of hoping for is that they kind of have like a sort of team with the remaining Aesops and then
Crow and Robin.
I think
that's what it feels like, because they didn't go in the portals at the end either. Like, they were in the airship and such.
So what do you think about... I kind of feel like... I'm wondering about, like, when Crow had Clover's good luck charm, and it actually gave him good luck and the bomb didn't fall out of his ship. I'm wondering if that's going to be a thing, keep being a thing going forward. If this is going to be like his interactions with Clover actually like change his semblance? I think that'd be
be really cool. Yeah,
that'd be a really cool arc for him. And I kind of hope that's something.
Went through the Aesops. Who's next?
Emerald.
Let's just say me and Joel were having like little thoughts on.
Should we talk about
We
Cinder
just
first?
knew someone was going to turn.
Yeah,
It just felt like at first we thought
Emerald
Cinder
and
was going to turn, and then Emerald turned.
I feel like we have to talk about both of them, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cinder's backstory.
Cinder's backstory.
Where it's like, why didn't I not
Rose.
see this first? Why did I not see this coming? Considering how much Monty loves the fairy tale stuff. Why did it take me this long to realize?
Why did I not realize? Cinderella!
Yep.
Wow!
Yeah, but dark, twisted Cinderella.
I did see a couple of people being like, they didn't know how they felt about it, being like, we had this whole setup for like the person, for like the viewer feeling for Cinder, and then she just stays evil, and they're like, I don't know how to feel about it.
That's the point!
But, I think that's part of the point. I'm still not entirely convinced that they're...
She's not on Salem's side, I know that as much. Where it's like, it's only a matter of time before she turns on Salem. It's just, what side is she going to go to?
Yeah, I feel like that
Is she going on RWBY's side or a third side? Is the real question.
Yeah. I really hope that they develop that whole thing more, though.
Yeah, Cinder's been against Salem since it feels like Volume 4.
Yeah, she's... I mean, it was clear at Volume 4. I suspect she was never been on her side. But.
Yeah, never. She just wants power and such. Where it's like, the real question is she going to turn on Cinder and turn on Salem and go to RWBY, or is she going on a third side? That's the real question.
It really does. It
makes her a really good secondary major antagonist, honestly.
Yeah, I think one of the things that makes Volume 8 so intense and so stressful and so cool is that there's 5 different freaking factions all fighting each other in this volume. It's so crazy.
Yeah, you got Aesops and Ironwood, RWBY, technically the freaking Juniper.
Yeah, the main team is kind of split for a lot of it. Salem's out. like you got Salem, Emerald ends up defecting, Cinder's doing her own thing but pretending to help Salem, Ironwood's doing his own thing,
Penny's doing her own thing.
It's
freaking everywhere until the last hour where it's like, oh my god.
It's a freaking mess and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
But yeah, Emerald, I did not see coming on her defecting, but when I really think about it, it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like clearly Cinder doesn't care about her. She was there for Cinder, and that was clear in Volume 5, where she was there for Cinder.
Yeah.
Like, if Cinder doesn't care, then she has no reason to, so it made sense for her to switch.
Yeah, it really does feel like she was there. She was there because her friends were there, and then when she lost her friends, she's like, "Why am I still here?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "This is not the side I want to be on," and she changed sides.
Yep.
But at the same time, it still tells she's kind of like, "This is weird, and I'm not comfortable here, but this is where I'm gonna be," which is cool.
Yeah,
I'm also just really happy because Emerald is cool.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that
and also, amazing Ironwood ploy. The ploy against Ironwood.
You did the right thing. I did. It feels weird.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Emerald to die in Volume 9.
Who's next?
I think maybe I have a little bit more to say about Cinder. I think with Cinder, I think she doesn't really. I think her goal is power for the sake of just she's bitter and she wants to get back at people. But I don't think she's like, I want power because of course I want power. Power is great, and she doesn't even know. She doesn't even consciously realize she's just bitter and she just wants to get back at people. Which is honestly like.
Yeah, should I mention the fact that if they weren't being obvious that they're gonna come back, she killed like 6 people at the very end of the volume.
Yeah.
She killed like 6 people at the very end. Like, good God.
Yeah, at this point I don't have much hope for Cinder. She's
not coming back. Yeah. Like, something's going to happen.
Yeah, what I'm hoping for is that we get like some sort of this is like
we're either going to get
fake redemption.
I feel like we're either going to get she's gonna die doing something to help RWBY and Salem's gonna kill her off, or she's going to be the final antagonist.
Honestly, what I'm expecting is that she's going to like what am I trying to say? Like, I don't really feel like either of those are necessarily going to happen. She could be the final antagonist. I don't think she might like help Team RWBY just to spite Salem, maybe. Yeah. I don't think she's ever going to help them because she actually wants to help them.
Yeah, it's either going to be screw you, Salem, I'm helping them just because it hurts you, or she's going to be final antagonist. I feel like that's where they're going.
I'm not even sure I would even say it like, I'm helping that. Like, she's just going to be like, screw you, Salem, and it just so happens to help Team RWBY. Yeah. That seems more in line with her. Like, she does not care about that.
Yeah. It's either going to be that or final antagonist, and Salem's going to die at some point, and Cinder's going to be last. Yeah. Like, I'm expecting one or the other. Because she was supposed to die like 8 times already.
Speaking of characters that died, Hazel.
Oof.
Hazel was neat. It was a cool arc.
We finally got the thing that's been building up since 4. We finally got him putting out all of his anger.
And I think, honestly, it was like him changing sides. It felt really nice. I think that was part of what made Emerald switch sides. Which I forgot to mention. Emerald, the thing I was talking about with Ren, I feel like the fact that Ren was able to see that she was scared and she actually did want to, like Ren was able to basically confirm, yes, she actually does want to join her side, which is really cool. Because like it would have been a little bit of a stretch for them to just have her join them on Oscar's word alone. But it also would have been kind of annoying as the viewer knowing that she wants to be on their side and everybody on the team being like, no, we don't want you to join, you're evil. Like that could be kind of...
It really mostly was just RWBY, the RWBY gang saying that because they knew what the hell she did.
Yeah. But like, yeah.
Like it made sense.
Yeah, Ren just...
I did like how they weren't immediately just inviting her in.
Yeah, like they had a brief moment of it, but then Ren was like, no, she actually does want to join.
And even then, Yang is still like cautious of her.
Yeah, which is fair, but we don't have
which
like,
I did like.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
it was really
where it's like, if you want to help us, sure, but I'm gonna still be ready if you are just making fun of us or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was really well handled, and it couldn't have done it this way if not for the change.
Yeah, Hazel's change made sense. He finally like realized all the he put all the pieces together, realized he was in the wrong, and did his best to get Oscar out.
So, should we talk about Salem and the Hound?
Jesus Christ. The Hound.
The Hound? The Hound is very cool.
Good God.
Like, I thought the Hound was, like, pretty... It was like, pretty alright for a lot of it. I was like, oh, it could talk. That's kind of neat. But it wasn't, like, super crazy.
And then the face showed up and was like, oh.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh. And it, like... It's like, oh, that's a person, and oh, that's why Salem wants Ruby alive, and oh, that's what happened to her mom.
Oh God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where it's like, not only is the Hound just normal, it feels like there's gonna be a lot more of it soon.
Yeah, and it also just adds another bit to just how awful of a person Salem is. Like,
yeah.
She's just
where we finally got full confirmation on what she wants as well, is just blow up the world so she can die.
Yeah, which honestly, like...
It makes sense.
Low-key, that is actually a really cool motivation for a villain. It is, I want to end the world because I can't die and I'm sick of living.
Yeah.
Like... It's
yep.
Like, I honestly want to steal that at some point for something. Like, if I make, like, a really crazy, powerful, basically immortal villain character, I might steal that.
Yeah,
because it's super cool. There's also, like, have we actually seen Salem, like, die and come back before?
No.
So we finally actually see that, which is, it's kind of cool. I'm a little surprised at how I feel like if someone like told me that this was the case, I felt like I would be upset about it. But actually seeing it, I'm like surprised at how not upset I am about the fact.
I think they mentioned it already, like in
like,
Volume 6. Like, I'm pretty sure during flashbacks in Volume 6, they showed us that.
I'm surprised at how... I mean, they kind of explained that. But what surprised me a little bit is she's a little bit easier to take down, at least in the short term, than I expected. And I'm surprised at how much I actually like that.
Yeah.
That you can... it's not...
It's just the bigger the hit that kills her, the longer she's out.
Yeah. Like, it's not... Like, it's kind of cool that, like, they actually have the ability to, like, take her down for at least, like, a little bit. But they have to make, like, they're gonna make a really big play to buy time.
Yeah.
Which is actually really cool. and it legitimately feels like that this whole series is kind of turning into, we gotta get all the things that we can. We gotta find some way to. It's almost like a race against time, where they're like, we gotta find some way to beat Salem before she just burns through all our resources and kills us all.
Yep.
So I think that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, we're gonna have a cut. Good God. We're going over an hour.
Good old RWBY.
Oh God, we're going over an hour.
Because we can't stop talking about this series.
And we still got the big one still.
Yep.
Cut.
So.
Well then, I think we stalled long enough. Penny.
So, you know, I said Oscar was one of the MVPs of this volume?
Yeah.
Yeah, Penny
Not
is definitely
the MVP.
Penny is probably the single MVP of this volume. Like,
good God.
Man. And I honestly, like, I know I just said earlier, yeah, RWBY has maintained her place as as my favorite character. I might.
Stiff competition.
Honestly, it's probably just because
RWBY's
RWBY
still
has
around.
held that place for so much. That RWBY has held that spot for so long that I feel like it's justified for her to keep that spot. Like, I don't feel like it's justified for her to give up that spot when she's held it for so long. And Penny's only been almost there for like 2 volumes.
And then we get the full Penny. Like, good God.
Like, she
goes through hell.
Yeah, oh man. She goes through so much crap, and she's just... Oh, man. She just manages to be... Like...
We're still stuck!
Like, what do you even... How do we even put it into words? Like, she's just... Like, she's like exactly like the person you would hope to be in that situation.
Yeah, where it's like she just wants to help everyone and she's stuck on how to do it.
But she just...
The fight in the Amity, when it's going up. Christ.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Like, Penny versus Cinder was horrifying.
Yeah. Just trying to save it the whole time, and she falls out of the sky, and you're like, no, Penny! And it's like, yeah, she's probably not gonna die, but she's not gonna be in good shape. And who knows? Like, I legitimately thought for a good while, like, she might not die right away, but she might, like, die over time, or it might result in, like, she's in too bad of a condition to win the fight or something.
Yeah.
Which ended up not being the case, but...
Good God.
Wow, man, it was really intense for sure.
So yeah, early Penny in the volume was depressed as hell, and it clearly showed.
Yeah.
Then Penny heads off to the Amity to try and get that working.
I do want to mention, though, the scene where she's like, I need to help everyone, and her dad is like, but you need to be, I want you to be safe, I want you to live your life, and she's like, she's basically like, this is how I'm going to live my life. I need to choose how to live my life, and this is the way I'm going to live my life. And
yeah, that was heartbreaking, and exactly what a dad would do.
Yeah, that's like one of the really difficult, I think that's like one of the like parents' character arc things that gets me every freaking time is the arc of, like, I just want to protect my child, but they're like, but you can't do that. They need to be able to, they need to learn how to stand on their own 2 feet and do what they're meant to do, even if it ends up being dangerous or even kills them.
Yep. And the Penny that wants to blow herself up after the vault. Good God, Watts, you asshole!
Thank you, Watts, for that. What a great man! We all love Watts!
I'm
glad he's dead! I guess that was your talk about Watts.
He's an asshole, he died, the end. We've kind of already went through him in 7.
He's a good character. He's a good character. He's
a good antagonist, but he really had his time in 7 already.
Yeah.
Good God. Penny becoming human was kind of odd.
It was kind of odd, but it also felt pretty fitting.
Yeah.
But it was really cool that, like, most of her robot abilities suddenly, like, that's her new semblance. I was like,
yeah,
that is so cool.
Yeah, that's her Winter Maiden power now.
Her Winter Maiden power, and then she can also, like, fly and shoot lasers and has her swords as her semblance, which is super cool. And part of me wishes we got to see more of it, but...
Yep.
But...
Salutations!
That's, like, honestly, that is one of the things that gets me most about it, is after she dies and literally requests one of her friends kill her, she still is such an upbeat character that she's just like, salutations.
Yep.
Like, oh my gosh. Like,
my God.
She's just like an unbreakable character. And she's so adorable. She's so cool. And that's why it's so hard to see her go.
Yep.
But
yeah,
at the same time, I can't say I have anything against it. She had a fantastic arc. It felt like it all came full circle. It's done incredibly well. I don't know what else they would even do with her at this point.
Yeah.
So, like,
it was perfect time.
It was the best time to do it. And her passing on her power to Winter is also just...
Yeah,
like, that's just such a
you were the one that was supposed to have it in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, man. Speaking of... just one more thing. Another thing about Winter. Oh, man. She is going to be... I am looking forward to Winter in the next volume. She is... Oh, man. The fact that she is, like... I feel like she is on the edge of breaking right now. Which is... Like, the fact that she didn't break... Like, the fact that she didn't break and just go after Cinder is just, like... I'm like, respect to you, Winter, but I don't know how much longer she can keep that up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man...
Can we alleviate the Penny mood by remembering that Maria kicked Neo's ass?
Should we talk about Neo?
Yeah. First off, oh my God, Neo actually lost.
Yeah. By the way, I was thinking about this, and actually, this came from me. I just happened to be. I think I was just looking at various semblances, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure they mentioned this before, and I just forgot. But Maria's semblance is that she can what Maria's semblance is. So she can like, I think she can like see things before they happen, kind of thing. Like she's like
a bit, yeah.
Yeah, which I was thinking about this, and I'm like, I feel like a lot of Neo's fighting style is based around like baiting and feinting and stuff. So it actually makes complete sense that that she'd be awful against fighting Maria, because Maria just sees right
So
through
it's just hilarious. Also, it was just hilarious after so many times of Neo just completely destroying everyone. She just loses.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
what the hell?
It was like, that's what I think that was what's really cool about it. It's like, first impression, you're like, oh, this is really funny that she's losing to this old lady.
Yep.
But then I think about it and I'm like, this makes complete sense, actually. Yep. This is actually really good attention to detail. I'm like, I love that so much. Like that's like one of those things, it's like, it's such a minor thing, but I'm like, when you actually look at it and notice it, you're like, this is such a cool detail and I love it so much. And then Neo joins up with Cinder again, and she tries to kill Ruby.
And then falls in with her.
Pretends to kill, makes everybody think the gang is dead. And then she falls in with Ruby after Ruby does the biggest brain play of all time. Yay, Ruby.
Yep.
That was such a cool...
Where it's like...
That was such a cool use of her semblance.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a lot with Ruby's semblance, actually, in this volume as well.
Yeah. She kind of got a development of hers, too. Although, presumably, she was able to do that the whole time and just didn't realize it.
Because it was mostly done in comedy.
Shout out to Penny again!
Yep. Stop with the robot. We got go past it.
I mean, real quick, can we just point out, assuming we're not counting Ruby as a redhead, because I don't know if you can really count her, because it's debatable whether it's natural.
She's got the red tints.
Yeah, but it's debatable whether it's natural.
It is. Her mother had it.
It could just be she liked her mom Sarah, she wanted to do it too.
I don't believe that.
And even then, it's like 90% black, and she was black growing up.
Redheads die. Redheads die. Nora, please, for the love of God, stop jumping over the pit!
But she wouldn't have done it anyway. It would have been fine.
Yeah, but at first I was like, good God, stop doing that!
But yeah, I've kind of come to say, welcome to RWBY, also known as the Redhead Bullying Hour.
Feels like it, yeah.
Because, yeah, even if we do count RWBY and her mom, it's like, if we do count RWBY and her mom as redheads, there are 2 redheads left. If we don't, there's 1 redhead left. I think. Unless I'm forgetting someone. I could be forgetting someone, but at least out of major characters, they're the only redheads left. Nora? Nora?
Please, stop jumping over the pits. So, Staff Dude?
Yeah, one of our few new characters, Ambrosius.
Hello, Mr. Pyron from Kid Icarus Uprising. Good to see you going into carpentry.
Okay, he was a fun character. He wasn't like a super big standout. I enjoy his character more than Jin, honestly.
Yeah.
Jin is kind of meh.
Meanwhile, he's just hilarious and also fits well with the genie stick of careful what you wish.
Yeah, and honestly, like, the mechanics of how he works are like, the mechanics of the limitations of the staff, I think were really, they're really well thought out.
It makes it so you can't just be like door into the next vault, door into the next vault. We got all the stuff.
Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. You can only have like one thing at a time, and if you put You say one thing wrong, and it'll screw you.
And it did.
And he said one thing wrong.
Can't go back.
Us.
One-way ticket. One-way ticket.
Yeah.
And now half of our main characters are trapped in a sandstorm, half of them are still in Atlas, and the other parts are stuck in the past. What?
Yep.
Any idea on where that ending's going?
It's probably in the past.
Any idea any theories on where that ending's going with that tree of life?
I have a suspicion this is going to be a situation where it's like, if they had never gone to the past, they never would have had a solution. Like, their solution in the end is going to be based on, like, the way they win in the end, at least in part, is going to have something to do with something that happens when they're in the past. I'm calling that now.
Also, let me just say, I'm going to be very interested to figure out how
Neo's
dealing with them.
Yeah, honestly, like, I suspect Neo ended up back there so that they would have an antagonist hounding them the whole time. But it will be very interesting to see
if they keep antagonizing stick.
Yeah, if the antagonizing sticks or not, or if she's gonna, like, change sides, or what happens.
It's really only RWBY that she has a shtick with.
Yeah. So, honestly, like the thing that I have a hard time seeing how they could possibly reason with her, because I don't think RWBY even really knows why exactly she can make.
And they don't have Ren, so we can't use his emotion stuff. So we got 4 characters who were hurt by her actions entirely. Jean, whose love was taken from Neo's part of Neo's actions, and Neo herself. Yeah. Like, no one's going to be happy with each other.
And the other thing is, Neo can't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
Or she could, like, in theory, she could write something out, but you're not gonna write, like, if you're gonna tell something like that to your enemy, it's going to be in the middle of the fight. She can't write something out in the middle of the fight. She can't tell them. So,
though also she can show her the hat and such and transform into Roman for a split second to be like, you killed him, now I kill you.
I know she can do that. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see her for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see how they write themselves out of this. Can't wait for another 2 years. What about you, Joel?
Can you guess what phrase went through my mind?
It seems we will have to wait.
They just point out that technically Penny died 3 times.
Yeah. That adds a 7th death if you count it for the death count. Main character death counter is Penny robot form. 7 major deaths, but actually 6.
So yeah.
3 of them pretty much all in a row.
So yeah, this is a 4-hour.
This was a volume
of pain, and this wonderful, beautiful pain.
Considering how this is a rambling review over an hour, you can tell.
Yeah. 4 hours of... This is 4 hours of beautiful pain. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see how they write themselves out of this.
Please tell me they spent at least an episode or two trying to get out of this sandstorm situation. Please don't let it be just like someone shows up and then they're all saved. I don't want that.
It's probably gonna be like half the volume before they get out. They're probably gonna have to find shelter or something. Like someone's going to be like, new semblance for someone, keeping everyone not dead. And you know, the Horde of Grimm in the sandstorm as well.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh yeah, we just put a whole country's worth of people into this tiny little location. See you guys for the next Rambling Review.
Just so you guys all know, I drink milk.